What's good? Let me get my mic up here and make sure that I am live and direct on Facebook. All right. But welcome back for those that are tuning in. Today on the Unstuck sessions, I do want to show you, give you some value. And so on here, I'm answering questions about using social media um, to advance and put grow your brand, grow your business, the whole shebang and bang. And so that's what I'm doing on today's episode. Please tap in if you have questions. I really want to answer them live and kind of show you a little bit of my thought process. And if you want a deeper dive, I have a link for you to schedule a time with me so I can actually do a full-blown social media audit. But I'm gonna go ahead and roll the intro, and then we're going to get into this thing. Okay. Welcome back to the Unstuck sessions. This is a little bit off schedule. I normally don't do lives on Wednesdays, but this was kind of in my heart, and I wanted to jump on here. For those that don't know me, I'm Brian. I'm 88. I have ADHD, and I help businesses figure out where they're stuck and allow them to progress. And we have an entire structured problem solving framework called the Unstuck sessions. And that's the way I kind of determine what the problem is. More times than not, when you encounter a sticking point in your business, it's typically not the first thing you think of. And a lot of times, once you obliterate the main sticking point, a lot of other things will flow downstream. So if you've been posting and nothing's been landing, or you're stuck trying to figure out what to do next with your social media, this is for you. I created this because I've been where you are, staring at a blank caption box and wondering why nobody's engaging. I do this every Wednesday. I pop in every Monday and Friday, and sometimes it's hit or miss. Sometimes I get people, sometimes I don't. The idea is I'm staying persistent with this. And I really want to give people an opportunity to get some free value from me in terms of I want to show you what I know and show you what I can do and give you some benefit and give you some stuff that you can actually use. I'm still going to be doing the learn how to record yourself, but I figured this is the first spot. This is kind of the first destination. And so if you have social media, shoot me a message. If you have a social media platform that you're using for your business and you're not getting the results you're looking for, shoot me, drop a comment in the chat, and I can try to help you unpack it live and direct. Okay. So we're going to get into it and talk about the three different types of stuck with your social media. Number one is inconsistent or no plan, no plan of action. And I got to push back a little bit about the consistency thing, because I think a lot of times when we say consistent, we think it's got to be at the same time, same place every time. And we think that there's a magic number of how often we should be posting. Like, should I be posting once a day, once a week, 3 times a week? And I'm learning, and this year has been really instructive. And I think there's been some changes in some of the algorithms anyway. But I'm learning that it's not as much about how often you post, it's about having a cadence with your posting. Like, if you're going to post once a week, then you pick a day, and that's when the post goes out. I've had success posting once a week. I've had success with some platforms and some projects I'm working on for clients. I've had success posting every single day. And so, it is really a matter of what works for you and what works for your audience. And so I have a YouTube channel that I'm growing pretty good pace, and I'm posting pretty much every single day. Hold on, let me fix something here. Be right back. So the idea is there is no magic. Sorry, I lost my camera there. There is no magic There's no magic cadence or magic rule about posting on social media. It's what makes sense for you. And a lot of times, what happens is people end up overwhelming themselves from the jump because they put out these unattainable um, goals for themselves when it comes to posting, and then when they can't live up to them, they end up beating themselves up because they're like, I got so many other things to do and I'm not posting daily, or I got everything, I missed this week's post, or I didn't post in the time, and all this other stuff. None of that stuff matters. Figure out what works for you and then build off that schedule. So as you get more sophisticated with there's something wrong with this. um Hold please. There is no magic button that you can push and it's automatically uh, going to boost your response rate or anything like that. It's really playing around with who your audience is and getting it so that the social media platforms recognize, hey, this person posts content on this kind of clip, and this is when we can expect stuff from them. And that's really what it is. But there is no magic button, and anybody that's trying to sell you a magic solution to your social media is lying. Is really individualized to what your goals with business are. And a lot of times, there we try to do these one size fits all kind of things with our social media and with our branding, and we end up sterilizing it and remove all the human elements out of it. Understand, social media is social. Okay. And social means engaging people and being a human being. And sometimes social is, hey guys, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm sorry I haven't posted today. We'll be back next week. And not being afraid to say that. Okay. So inconsistent or no plan. Um, Lots of effort and there's no engagement. And a lot of times when you're in that mode where it's lots of effort but low engagement, what you're experiencing is you just haven't found the right thing to get people to engage with you. Okay. And it's no knock on you. Um, it's just a matter of, it really is a matter of you finding the right thing to say. Okay. And that's the real. I mean, that it's challenging, but sometimes you got to explore and say, okay, what can I show about my business or myself that's going to get people interested? And you'll be surprised at some of the stuff that people are interested in. People love behind the scenes stuff. I joke about it all the time, but there's a lot of times I will sit and watch somebody rebuilding an engine, or somebody making a glass vase. I am not going to make a glass vase and I'm not going to rebuild an engine, but I'm fascinated with the behind the scenes of it. I'm changing a couple of things here. Because I want to express that this is a free social media audit. This is opportunity for you to jump on the stream, and I do what I do for free with you. And I do think that there's a benefit in this. And I cannot edit the schedule. Okay, I don't care about that. And so I want to provide as much value as I can. And I need to change something there. Okay, never mind then. Anyway, so realistically, this is about providing an opportunity for myself to get out here and um, basically give you an opportunity to jump on the stream, and I can answer your questions in real time. Um, and I think that there's a benefit for people that need a little bit of quick guidance, but they may not need a heck of a whole lot. And so this is what this stream is about. Okay. Good, good. All right. Um, Oftentimes, um, we find that I find that people are afraid to post because they don't know what their brand is. They don't know what specifically is on brand for them. And brand is this nebulous concept, Um, what, basically is what how you want people to perceive your business. And sometimes if there's a disconnect between your personality and your brand, your business suffers. And so, when there's incongruency between what you want and what your brand is, it will make your marketing effort a little bit more challenging or more daunting, because you're going to have a hard time getting into the head of the customer and speaking directly to the problems that they have in their own mind. Okay. And so I've worked with clients where I've told them straight up, I said, your presence online, your website, your social media connected to the website, the whole nine, it's professional looking, it's clean looking. Um, it's not you. It's devoid of your personality. It has none of you in it. And because it has none of you in it, that's why it's not connecting with the audience that you want to connect with. And just by addressing the not having any of the personality infused into the social media post, and a lot of social media posts were transaction based, um, which means you're asking for services or asking for somebody to pay you money, as opposed to sharing what your process is behind the scenes so they can see you work and see your art, or just share your art. Um, People aren't responding to it. And so my tweaks were, let's put more behind the scenes, less transactional stuff on, on the social media, and have that facing outward. I was working with a creative person, and it's like, put some of the stuff that you've created and show some of the behind the scenes work that goes behind that, you know, and maybe that might connect a little bit better. And so, sometimes it's just personalizing and humanizing the social media a little bit, and stop worrying so much about professional. I think people get latched into that this isn't professional mindset, and their social media account ends up being dry, because it's not, it doesn't feel like a human being's operating behind the scenes. It just feels like there's a machine just spitting out and generating posts. And you got to be careful with that, because we're also in the AI age where that can be the case. And when people see that it's just there's no connection or no human interaction, they will just keep scrolling. Okay. So, why a social media audit is a fix? Okay. uh, uh, when I do a social media audit, what I'm sitting there looking for is, I'm taking into consideration what your goals are with your social media account for your business or brand, and trying to bring those things, trying to merge those two ideas together. I want to look at what your social media account is and look at what your vision is for it, and try to bring those things together. This isn't just a vibe check. And I'm not just going on and saying, oh, well, you have this many followers. That stuff doesn't matter as much. Specifically when somebody's just starting out or new, or they haven't really focused on their social media. Um, Focusing on, oh, well, you have X amount of followers, right? That's not important a lot of times, because you're still growing an audience, and the people that follow you. And so you need to treat them with the same respect as you would whether you got 100 followers or a million followers. You got to treat your audience with the same level of respect, and show them that you're engaged with them. And uh, it will grow. But a lot of times when people sign up for these social media audits or whatnot, it always just boils down to how many followers you have. And people think that if you don't have followers, then you're not important. A lot of times people consume what you post on social media, and they don't follow you. And it's just a matter of, we haven't asked them to do the thing. We haven't asked them to share it. We haven't asked them to like your page, or follow your page, or follow your channel. And so there is, you have to actually say, hey, if you like what I'm doing here, give me a follow, just so that you can nudge them a little bit, so that they can take that extra step. Because social media will feed them your content, consistently if they show interest in it, but that doesn't mean that they're following your page directly. They just see it because it aligns with what social media thinks they're interested in. Okay. Having an audit, will cut through the overwhelm by showing you exactly what to fix and what to focus on, because sometimes it's a multi-tiered kind of thing. If I'm saying your brand isn't connecting and we come up with a plan, and we're going to do video content, I also have to teach you how to do the video content so it's not an extra strain on you, but it looks good enough that you don't have that you're not nervous about putting it out there. So there's a balance between the two things. Okay. And a social media audit is not just feedback, it's giving you a direction, giving you a roadmap to make your social media perform the way that you want it to. I do think, and I do have to keep emphasizing this, I think there is a overemphasis. We worry way, 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 way too much about how big somebody's platform is or how big your platform is, respectfully. And that is the least important consideration, because the reality is, the benefit of having a small platform is it allows you to test different brand messages and different versions of yourself and different offers to a smaller audience, so you could see what works and what doesn't work, as opposed to trying out a big offer or a new offer or a new brand voice on a big audience, and then you have people jarred away or people that aren't connecting with you, and you have a bigger pool of people that you can let down or disappoint. Start small, make the changes small, and then see how people respond to it. Okay. So with this and what I'm offering three things. And so I'm offering three kind of tiers with this. And I know I have my Calendly thing, but I'm going to be revising that here in a second. But to give you guys maximum benefit, I'm going to have a couple of different tiers for the social media audit. Or you could jump on here and do it for free right here and right now. That's the option. But as we move forward, I'm going to have three tiers with the social media audit. Number one is, okay, number one, clarity call. You get a 30-minute live audit with me. I look at your profile with fresh eyes and I tell you what's working and what's not, and give you 3 to 5 things to fix right away. That's a $97 clarity call. 30 minutes, quick, fast, in a hurry, really surface level, but I want you to leave with 3 to 5 things that you can do right now to improve your outcomes on social media. Tier 2 is going to be the momentum builder. So this is where we go deeper. This is like a full hour, and you get a 1-page plan that's written out, tailored to your brand goals and strengths, and so that you have kind of a little bit of a framework to improve your social media. And then tier 3 is going to be an accelerator. So this is for folks that are ready to turn your social media into a system. You get a written audit and strategy sessions and a full 30-day plan with my support, where I check in once a week. And so these are the different options. And so the clarity call is going to be $97. The momentum builder is at $250. And I'm still figuring out a price point for the accelerator, but it's going to be somewhere between $750 and $1,500, just because there's going to be so much value attached to it. And I'm really trying to make it something that could benefit you and create some sudden change. Okay. So right now I'm looking for one brave volunteer to jump on here live and we can do a quick audit. And it's going to be simple. I'm not going to try to do too much, but I want to give you some stuff that you can use to get on the good foot, if you will. So we'll see what happens. But if you're tired of winging it, go to the Calendly link. I'm going to be updating it here within the hour. And the clarity call is the fastest way to get out of your own head and really just start the motion and start getting things rolling. The big thing is you don't have to be stuck. And being stuck doesn't mean something is broken. It just means you don't know what step to take next. Okay. My goal is to get you moving forward. You don't need perfection. It doesn't have to be perfected. It just needs to be something that is a step further than where you were before. Okay. You need a map. And the audit gives you a map. It gives you a direction to start heading towards, something to aspire towards. Okay. So that's what this is. I'm gonna stay on for a couple more minutes, see if anybody pops in. But like I said, I want to do the social media audit and give you guys an opportunity to um, get some value from me, because that's really what this is. And so, whether you catch it now or catch it later, understand I am going to be chopping this into chopping this down and editing this and posting this as a regular run of the mill ad, and you can kind of see what my process is with that too. And if you're interested, I can do a live stream to show you how I make posts into ads. Okay. So, but I just need somebody to pop on. If I have a brave volunteer who has a social media platform that they're not maximizing, go ahead and drop it in the chat and we can take a look at it. I got about I'll give it about 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and sign off and then start chopping this. One of the things I've learned through my social media is and growing my social media is giving free value whenever I can. Um, because there's so many people out here trying to sell you stuff. Um, and I'm one of those people, I'm, this is my business. This is what I do, is helping people. But there's so many people out here trying to sell you stuff that it really is notable when somebody is legitimately trying to help and they give you information that you can use to improve your situation, and they're not asking anything of you. That's rare in this transactional world. And so I want to be the rare person that tries to help you out and give you some benefit for the time that you spend with me. My friends will tell you I do this for free all the time. And so now I'm putting a business model behind it, but I do help people with their business and social media plans all the time. And I give that advice freely. I don't hold anything back. I don't hold anything back on these live streams. If I hope you guys have noticed that I do not hold stuff back. I don't have secret troves of information that you have to pay to access. More times than not, if you're paying me, this is my focused and dedicated attention, and we can take deeper dives on things. But I don't hold stuff back. Now, I do go based on what my time allows me to do, and so I may not get to all the areas that are present, but I don't hold things back from my audience. And so when you get me on a live stream, if you pop up on one of my live streams and ask me a question, I'm gonna give you the fullest answer that I can give without having to sit down and do a bunch of research. And so that's why I do these live streams. And fortunately or unfortunately, a lot of times it's just me talking to the void. But that's going to change. Eventually it's going to change. Eventually I'm going to get people that engage on that level. And I've had some live streams where I've had plenty of engagement and talking to people or whatnot. I need to find an evening that makes sense to do this, because I think that's when a lot of people are on their downtime or whatnot. There's going to be a lot of folks that are at work or doing other things, and so they may not have time to pop on to a live stream and ask questions. And so I need to figure out an evening that works so we can do this. I'm almost thinking, and I'm trying to think of nights where I'm actually home. It might end up being Tuesday evenings, just because that's really the only night that I'm home during the week. More times than not, I have other things going on with my other business that require my attention and presence. And so I'm not here during the evening. I'm actually working. I'm doing the business thing with my other business. So it may be Tuesday evenings when I pop on and answer marketing questions and kind of see what's what and see who's really about learning in their downtime. But I am going to be changing my offer a little bit through the Calendly link. Right now, my full package for everything is $350. I'm going to be changing that. That price is going to be going up at the end of this live stream. So if you want to get me before that price goes up, And matter of fact, I'll hold off on changing the price until tomorrow for the latecomers that see this after the fact. Uh, but if you want to get the full social media workout where I go through and give you a report and a meeting and some follow-up meetings and stuff, um, you probably need to jump on that now because that price is going up just because of feedback I've gotten from other people about the value that I've added to their online presence. Um, and yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm pricing it to reflect the kind of value that I believe it contains. Because a lot of times people do position your offer based on the price. And so if the price is too low, they think that it's a lower value offer. It doesn't matter how much quality you put into it. Um, that's going to be another because I've done priceless positioning several times on the live stream. I'll probably do it several more so that it connects with people. Because when we talk about priceless positioning, it's not even just a business thing. Sometimes it's even with your personal life, your interpersonal life. Making sure that you're getting compensated adequately on your job and stuff. What people pay you is how they perceive you. And when you raise your asking price, sometimes people get uncomfortable because the reality is they don't value you enough. And so when we have the prices positioning conversation, I'm probably going to put it on the business world and in personal life. But I'm saying all that to say this, the price on the full blown social media clarity calls is going to be going up. And then I'm going to add some other tiers to add other value to it. So that you can kind of pick and choose what level you want to engage with. And right now, the minimum level of engagement is probably going to be $97. And when I say minimum level of engagement, that means the minimum price, because I've found through trial and error, the name of my other podcast, that people don't value free information as much. They will get it and then they won't take action on it. And I can give you $10,000 worth of knowledge, but if I don't charge you anything, then you're just going to throw it away. That's what been my experience, at least. Because there's been cases where I've told people exactly what to do and they don't do it. But then somebody else will tell them to do something similar. And since they paid that person for that information, they take it and run with it and have the same success that they would have had they done what I told them to do for free. And so I learned my lesson that I need to be charging for this, and out of respect to myself and respect to my family and respect to my time. Um, and so that's why I'm kind of gotten off of the free track. And so if you want free, you got to engage me here. You got to sit down and participate in the live stream if you want free. And I will answer those questions absolutely without holding anything back. But I do think Tuesday nights is probably going to be where I pop up on the live stream, just because I think, I do think I want to do an evening, but I have to pick an evening when I'm actually present, and I'm not home most nights of the week. I got something or other going on, one thing or another going on. So, all right. So it's 1:00 now. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I do have this time set aside, and I did kind of put it out there. I will probably be offering another social media audit. I'm thinking, just watch the space. I'm thinking it's going to end up being Tuesday evenings when I do them. I need to make sure it's a night where I'm actually home, and night where I'm consistently home, and Tuesdays is probably going to be it. I'm thinking possibly, Tuesday evenings around 5:30 ish, and kind of see where that goes. It might change during the summer because my kids have band stuff going on, and so that 5:00 may move to be something else. But we'll see what happens with that. So, again, take advantage of this. I've kind of laid out what this is going to be. I really hope to add some value to you guys. But I'm here for social media audits or to answer any questions. You guys know how to reach me on I Sell Words or on LinkedIn or on Facebook or wherever. So that's all I got. I will talk to y'all later. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.